Major League Baseball is now more popular than the NBA. Major League Baseball? The niche sport? The regional league? The league with minimal mainstream stars? You mean to tell me that league is more popular than my beloved NBA? I don't know if this says more about baseball or if it says more about the NBA, but there is no denying the fact that Major League Baseball is back. Now, whether they can maintain these ratings, that is a different story, but at least for the time being, baseball is back to being a major player. The 2024 World Series between the Yankees and the Dodgers averaged over 15 million viewers. Most watched World Series since 2017. It beat every NBA Finals since 2019. Hell, ratings for the NBA Finals have been so low the past few years, the World Series damn near doubled some of them. Over 18 million people watched Game 5 of the World Series. NBA? They haven't come anywhere close to hitting that number in the last 5 years. Now, what should be even more worrisome for Adam Silver in the NBA, if you exclude football, the World Series is now the second most watched sporting event of the year. What's number one? Caitlin Clark and the national championship in women's college basketball. Just think about that for a second. The NBA has fallen so far, they are now being dominated by a star baseball player who barely speaks English and a young white woman from Iowa who you could make a very strong case is more popular than the entire NBA itself. The question is, why? How did we get here? The usual excuses that we make for the NBA, they are no longer valid. This isn't 2020. We are 4 years removed from the COVID, so you can't blame the Fauci. Although NBA coaches in the face of disgraced LeBron James are trying their best to inject a double dose of the woke fungus back into the league, you can't really blame politics for the last couple of years. Believe it or not, I'm not even going to blame Adam Silver. Can't blame cord cutting. For years now, Nielsen, they have included out-of-home viewership in a desperate attempt to make ratings seem higher than they actually are. There are no more excuses to be made. I can only think of one primary reason that the NBA is failing to resonate with the mainstream audience, even though they benefit from more free exposure from the mainstream media than any other league besides the NFL. The main reason I think the NBA is struggling, the players. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. If you happen to stumble across this video, be sure to check out my main channel, Behind the Line. Search Behind the Line here on YouTube. Should be the first channel that comes up. One of the biggest problems right now in the NBA, I think the average fan is having a very hard time relating to star players. And if you can't find a way to relate to someone, it makes it damn near impossible to emotionally invest in them. For the past 3 years, a lot of people have been struggling financially. Inflation, the job market sucks. Last month, Johnny B. Biden, he predicted that 100,000 new jobs would be created. Unfortunately, Johnny B., he was off by about 88,000. 12,000 new jobs were created in the month of October. It's tough to find good paying jobs. Now combine that with the fact that people are struggling to pay for groceries and just about everything else, it makes it incredibly hard to relate to NBA players who are refusing to play basketball. Key word, play. That's what they do for a living. Play. It's what I do for a living. I come on here every day and play, which is why it is incredibly rare for me to miss a day here on YouTube. The way I see it, you guys gave me the blessing of having the easiest job in the world, and I make an incredible living by doing it. The least I can do is show up every day and give you 1,000%, give you maximum effort. Unfortunately, that mentality, it seems to be lost in the modern NBA. Joel Embiid, he refuses to play basketball. Kawhi Leonard, he has been missing for years. Hell, Kawhi Leonard, he might as well go and play in the WNBA. He can relate to unknown WNBA players. They can all have their faces on the side of a milk carton. Because Kawhi Leonard, he has not been seen consistently in years now. Anthony Davis, Tony! He's always hurt. And look, AD has legitimate injuries, but for a lot of NBA players, it seems like it takes forever for these dudes to return from injury. A couple of years ago, Brandon Ingram, he missed 2 months for, I'm pretty sure it was a toe contusion, a fucking bruise. A lot of these guys refuse to play unless they're 100%, which means they are missing significant time because no one is 100% during the regular season. I think this mentality pisses fans off, and as a result, they are turning the NBA off. There's only so many times that you will pay for tickets only to have star players sit out before you eventually give up and spend your money elsewhere. And you know what the weird thing is? This doesn't seem to happen with role players in the NBA. Role players, they are busting their ass. Role players are doing everything they can to get on the floor. Last night, Jordan Hawkins, he's having back spasms. He's been having back problems for the last few days. Coming out of halftime, Hawk was questionable to return to the game. What is he doing during the start of the third quarter? His ass is on the bike trying to loosen up his back so he can get back on the court. He ends up returning midway through the third quarter, and he plays every single minute but one. Anthony Edwards, he's got that mentality. LeBron James has that mentality. Jason Tatum. But there are far too many players in the NBA that don't. Now, is load management as prevalent as it was 5 or 10 years ago? Absolutely not. But the perception is still there. And the perception is the only thing that matters. The casual fan views NBA players as soft, pampered, entitled. When people are struggling, I would imagine it pisses them off to hear about superstar NBA players refusing to play basketball because they don't feel like it. Give me your thoughts. Why does the NBA continue to struggle? Like I told you guys the other day on the main channel, if this league does not get their shit together, the WNBA is going to surpass the NBA in popularity. What is the biggest problem in this league? Why are they struggling to draw? Let me know. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys on the main channel.